talk about
Right.
stability, people would be like, get a stable job, go work for someone, go work for this
Yeah,
person, stability. And those jobs were the first ones to disappear. Just saying.
exactly.
Hi, everyone. It's Edrian Pangilinan here, and welcome back to Soul Supremacy, where we talk about all things unapologetic, all things passion and in pursuit of. And welcome to the new episode. And actually, before we get started, I just want to give a brief shout out to Sarap Tees, based in Los Angeles, California. They are a all Filipino-American based clothing company creating graphics that really send a message of representation through merch clothing. There you go. See, clothing's like these. So please check them out. I'm gonna have your information on the description box. I slurred my words. It's okay. We'll just run with it. Okay, so going back to the show. So we have Ysabel Hilado today, gracing
Hello, thank you
from
for having me.
gracing from Artesia, California. There you go.
Yes,
How are you? How are you today?
I'm good. Woke up at 9, ate my breakfast, got ready for this, and I'm super excited to start my day off with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Co-host? Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. It's funny because I woke up at 9. Okay, so I usually wake up around 9, but
Yeah.
I ended up sleeping whole lot later today. Have you heard of Clubhouse?
Yes, I heard of Clubhouse.
Are
I feel like a
are
lot of kids are starting to get on it.
are you on Clubhouse?
No, I'm not actually.
Do you wait, hold on, wait. The real question is, do you have an iPhone?
Yes, I do.
Are you interested in being on Clubhouse?
I am actually. I just haven't gotten an invite or anything
Uh,
yet.
well, I was supposed to give someone else my last invite, but they didn't take it right away. So I'm gonna give you my invite, okay? My last
Oh
invite.
my gosh, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
oh no, you're
god,
welcome. It's
I'm
no, it's
honored.
no, yeah, it's meant to be because I actually got my invite from a good friend of mine. But
Really?
even though we live
Okay.
close to each other, he was talking about it in his live. So that's how. So it's full circle.
How do you
Yeah.
like the app? How do you like the app? Because I've just been reading a bunch of tweets on it and
Yes.
it seems very interesting. How do you like it?
Yes. First of all, this video is not sponsored by Clubhouse yet. So if you're listening,
Yet.
yeah, there you go. Okay, where do I start? The whole thing has been amazing. It's I mean, beside okay, so it's really about networking in the
Yes.
sense of like meeting like-minded people, but also I've been
Mhm.
like besides meeting people that I admire, like there has been like several public figures, celebrities, um
Really?
people on there
Wow.
and 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 I think the best way to like describe it is this is really the place to connect with people about your work, and
Okay.
yeah, and especially for you, this is really a good place for you to put your work out there.
And
Which
it's audio only, right? Like
yeah,
you can
with
only
the
talk?
yes, yeah, with your profile picture, so which is cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What an interesting platform.
Yeah. I mean especially for why am I slurring my words? For people like yourself in the fashion industry, I mean actually the entertainment industry in general, this is really the best way for all of us to like, hey, this is me if you want to work with me. Give me
Oh.
1 second, hold on.
Oh no, it's okay.
Mickey, stop it.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, trying to go in. I'm like, stop going in. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna send you the invite after we're done.
Oh,
So
thank
yeah.
you. Oh my gosh, I'm honored.
Yeah. So for those that are wondering, go on Clubhouse for now, or I guess even by the time this episode comes out, which today is gonna be the second Friday of March. There you go. I still
Mm.
believe that it'll still be an iPhone user thing. So yeah.
Yes, I noticed that. No Android users yet, I think.
Yes, I love the filter because well, no, I'm just kidding. No. That's okay. We're inclusive here. Okay, so before I completely lose sidetrack because I'm a
All
person of
good.
tangents on tangents on tangents.
Me
Uh,
too.
okay, so as we finally get started, I just wanted to briefly introduce Isabel. So Isabel Hilado is a 22-year-old women's wear fashion designer and content creator based out of Artesia, California. Her design aesthetic can be described as street chic, where she combines feminine elements with a streetwear flair. Isabel
Yeah.
wants women to feel like they have a purpose and are ready to tackle the day or night whenever they wear her designs. Lastly, she keeps versatility in mind so that people are able to style her pieces to go with their own personal style and for any occasion. And actually, speaking of that, whenever I think of her, I think of denim. So that's why I like grabbed this denim piece.
I love that
Yeah,
little
yes,
bottom vest.
yes, yeah, denim vest. I was just like I have to wear denim for this episode, and
I'm so glad you did. It looks great with the yellow.
thank you. Okay, so before we get started with the main interview, we actually have five icebreaker questions that we always want to ask our guests,
Ooh,
our special guests
okay.
for the show. So the first one is, what are five things about you that people wouldn't normally know from meeting you for the first time?
Oh, okay. Let me think. I guess five things. I would say I love food, but I think I'm a bit of a picky eater. So I only like to stay within what I like. Um, it takes a while for me to open up to new foods, but I'm
Mm.
starting to learn slowly.
Same,
Um,
same here. Same,
yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. I don't
Super
know. Like
picky. Yeah.
I love to eat though. I love to eat. So
But I will order the same
um
foods over and over again.
exactly. Um, I guess the next fact or the next little thing about me, I'm a
Yes.
huge Disney fan. Huge
Mm.
Disney fan. I've been going. I've had a pass since about my sophomore year of high school,
Oh
up
shoot.
to probably last year. And so yeah,
Mm.
I would go like every month, every couple months, or when I was younger, I would go probably like every week with my friends. And especially because
Yeah.
I only live like 15 minutes away from Disneyland.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, so it was literally like just up, just like up the freeway, pretty much.
And you ended up
Yeah.
working there.
Yes, I ended up working there in 2018. And so that's
Mm.
when it kind of got like, oh, well, I'm always here every day. So I didn't go as much since I'm always there.
Oh yeah.
But
Bye.
exactly. But now, like, since it's been a year, like, I kind of miss it because it was kind of like my getaway from everything, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because I know I met someone last year. Shout out Katniss Rose on YouTube. About Disney. So I don't normally consider myself a Disneyland person, but I
Mhm.
like through her I've learned about everything.
Yes. I feel like I know the whole park,
Yeah,
like the back end, honestly.
yeah. Actually I have a off tangent question, a follow-up question.
So
What were your
good.
thoughts when you what were you still working there prior to the pandemic?
Oh, well, I think I'm trying to remember, but I was actually there the very last day Disney closed, or like one of the
Oh,
last few days. I think it was like March 13th or something.
oh my
But
gosh.
since I didn't work in the park, I worked in downtown Disney.
Oh,
So
oh,
we
just
were
kidding.
just a
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
we
you
were
were
just
not
a
affected so
retail
much.
store. Yeah, we were just a retail store, but still though, like I remember coming in the last couple weeks, and we were just talking about like COVID and everything, and we were
Oh.
wondering how it was gonna affect everything. And then I remember, I think like they just canceled work for a week, but then
Uh,
obviously like they canceled it for a very long time.
oh my gosh.
So, but I mean, it's fine. It gave me an opportunity to like do what I love, so it's all good.
Yeah, yes, because her episode is going to be about all things content creation and fashion, y'all. Okay.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. So maybe two more. We don't have to do all five
Two
because
more,
I feel
two
I
more.
yeah because I just picked five because five is an easy number. Five
Let
there.
me see. Another fact, I really love thrifting. This little coat was only $7, and I love it. It's super cute. And then
Yes,
I'm also
chic,
yeah,
chic
I
and
know
cheap. There.
exactly, and I'm also a plant mom. So this is
Oh
one of
my
my favorite
gosh.
plants. Super big,
Does
but yes,
does your plant have a name? Does that plant have a name?
no,
No. Oh,
no,
Matthew.
I don't know. I probably should name my plants, but this is my favorite plant. It's a monstera, and it got super big over the last
Oh
year.
shoot. If you were to give that plant a name right now, what would it be?
If I were to give it a name, mm, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's green. Um, Dang, I don't know. What would you name it?
Olive, Olivera. I don't know. Olive,
I think
Olivera.
green, like money, no, or greeny. I don't know.
It looks like an olive. Like, I mean, not just a color, but it literally looks like an olive, like a name,
It's
Olive.
my favorite plants, and I
Yeah,
haven't killed it. It's been thriving in my room, so it's all good.
that's funny. That is so funny because by the time this episode comes out, I think let me just double check, but I'm pretty positive it'll be like a year exactly when the pandemic was. And
Really?
yes, so happy 1 year
Happy
pandemic.
1 year.
Happy.
So crazy.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Last one. Last fun fact about you.
Last fun fact. I would say I'm pretty extroverted, but there are some times where,
Oh.
I just don't feel like talking. Where I just
Mm,
want to, where I just want to be to myself and chill out. But for the most part, I love like talking to people, being interactive and all that. But
mm.
yeah, you know how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I'm actually an introvert, but
Really?
oh
Okay.
yes, I am
Oh,
a
I
chatty.
forgot.
I I am a chatty introvert, and the reason it's funny because like what you just said, I'm like that, but I think for me my biggest gauge in kind of I guess in the end it's not necessarily about labeling ourselves, but it's about understanding ourselves, you know. So I think for me my biggest thing is I first of all don't like big crowds. I feel tired. I feel so drained after,
I
you know, I'm
feel
like, I'm
you.
so tired. Whereas extroverts normally get energy being in big groups, and so I do feel like that has been really I feel like for me the biggest differentiator,
Oh
but
yeah,
I love
totally
to
understand.
chat. I NFJ over here.
Man, oh, I forgot what my Myers-Briggs one is.
Definitely you're definitely
I
not an
I've
I.
taken I've
E.
taken it though. It's probably a E
Okay.
something.
Yes,
I totally
yeah.
a couple months ago for class.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. How was your sleep?
My sleep, it was good. I mean, like any other day, nothing too crazy. I think I usually sleep around like 1:30 and then I wake up at like 9:30. So I get
Yeah,
my
it's
good
not
I get a decent amount of sleep, but
not phased.
there's some days where I'll just be up until like 3 for no reason, just
Well, well,
on my
just saying
phone.
with Clubhouse now, you will not go to sleep.
Yeah, have you been sleeping late because of the app?
Um, not I mean not all the time, but last night for sure was the first time that I could not get out of the Filipino. Okay, so there was a room called the Filipino-American experience where literally
Really?
everyone was, oh my goodness, there were so many people talking about their experiences about being a Filipino, I guess wherever they were in the world, because we had people from Singapore, Canada, the Middle East.
Really?
We had I'm not sure if you're so familiar with like the entertainment industry in the Philippines in the motherland, but there was G Tonji who was in the same batch as Judy Ann Santos, like
Okay.
and JR, like King of R&B. He
Okay,
performed
he
in the
sounds
room last
familiar.
night.
Wow,
So
you got a free performance.
yeah, it's no, no. Okay, so to answer your question, really though, I don't know. I mean, thankfully for me, I'm able to like literally just have it here in my stand while I'm doing my work.
Oh,
So
okay, so it's like kind of background noise a little bit?
yes, it's almost like a podcast kind of because I've
I
been
mean, but
listening to podcasts.
how often do you have to contribute to the conversation? Can you just listen
Oh,
in?
no, no, yeah. I mean, you can literally show up at being like, "Bye, I don't like this room, bye," or or if you like it, you know. Well, I mean, actually, depending on the exclusiveness of the room, if it's just like chill people, they're more likely to let you in. Although, I
Oh,
mean,
oh, so they have to let you in.
yeah, yeah, they have to let you up on the room to like the speaker. Yeah, because if you're not
Okay,
speaking, you're just obviously listening, but then you have to raise your hand, which is a button, and then well, you know what? Actually, I'm lying. For the most part, they let everyone in, so they let everyone in, but you
okay,
do get the choice to listen, to just listen.
okay. I think for
No,
the first couple times, Imma listen. I wanna just
no, no, you're good.
gauge.
Yes, yeah. Okay, okay. We're actually, I think your recent answer actually is a perfect segue to the next question. So,
Okay.
where is your favorite thrift store?
My favorite thrift store. Well, pretty much I go anywhere, but I most recently just got into thrifting maybe in the last 3 years because my boyfriend
Mm,
is a huge thrifter. And
mm,
so we usually go in his area. He lives in West Covina.
mm,
And so we go to a lot of the thrift stores out there in Covina. So like a few of my favorites are like Community Thrift,
mm,
URM, because they also because at URM a lot of their proceeds also help the homeless, women
mm.
and children as well, and also like a Christian-based organization, which is really nice. And then we
Yeah.
also just usually go to like Goodwills, Salvation
Hmm.
Armies. We go a little bit of everywhere. And in Orange County, I like going to McFly's. I
Mm.
recently found that thrift store a couple months ago, and they have been amazing.
I think that's one that you posted, right? You
Yes,
created
yes,
a short for it. I was like, oh my
yes.
goodness.
I created a I just made a video on
A
them, and
reel,
then
yeah,
they
a reel,
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
IGTV. I'm not sure if reels were out then, but yeah.
Yeah, I made a TikTok and then they blew up overnight. They got over like 250 views in less than 24 hours. And
Yes,
then so now I'm
influencer.
and now I've just been in contact with them and yeah, we're probably gonna like collab on a few videos. So they've been such a great
Ah,
thrift store to me. And they also have great things as well. And where else do I go? I go to my boyfriend's work. He works at Second Street and he's like a clothing buyer. So they sell a lot of like
oh, nice. Okay.
they sell a lot of like secondhand clothing. Like this is from his work.
Mm.
They also have
Oh,
like Louis
wow.
Vuitton. They have Gucci. They have a little bit of everything there. So you should dedefinitely check it out too. But
Yes.
overall, I just go
When the
everywhere.
pandemic clears, I want to go thrifting with you. I want to go thrifting.
Oh my gosh, please! I would
Oh
love
wait,
to. I
okay.
love doing
Well,
it.
not just thrifting, but I want to photograph you. I'm a photographer. I'm
Yes,
like an
I
aspiring
see.
editorial fashion photographer. I've actually had it's not published, but Vogue Italia, their photo Vogue a component online, they did choose like a picture that I submitted. And even then
What?
and even then they're like they like I submitted several times, but they've always rejected it, but they chose one. So I was like, oh
Wow!
shoot.
Congratulations! That's awesome.
Yeah, so when this whole thing clears out, I wanna
Yes,
collab with you.
please, please. I would love to.
Okay. Next question. What does your morning routine usually look like?
Morning routine. Well, every day kind of feels the same now, but now that I'm in school again, because I'm a full-time student at Cal State Long Beach,
Yes,
pretty
Long
much,
Beach.
I'll like check whatever I need to do that day for school. I'll do a little bit of it for like maybe an hour or two.
Mhm.
Um, Pretty much I'll wake up and then I'll eat my breakfast and then I'll work out and then I'll check my homework, do that for a couple like an hour or two, depending on how long it takes. And then I will sew. I'll sew and design for the rest of the day, create content if I have to,
Yes.
or I don't know, it just varies depending on what I have to do that day. If I
Mm.
have time, maybe I'll like make time for some of my friends or
Ah. Do you make a list?
use
I'm assuming do you have a planner?
yes, I do have a planner. I use
Okay.
Passion Planner.
Oh,
Passion Planner. Heard of them?
passion planner.
Yes. Oh my gosh, mine is in my room.
Where are you? Wait, is that not your room? Where are
My
you?
sewing room. This is my sewing room. Yeah, my parents cleared out a little room for me.
Yeah. You know what? I am done. Okay, I'm gonna go. I can't with you. You
Oh my
better.
god.
You
Passion
better.
Planner. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's the best ever, and they're Filipino owned.
Yes, I met her, Angelia Trinidad. Yeah, she's
Inspiring. She's
cool.
inspiring.
Yes, LGBT. You better represent, sister.
Yes,
Filipino and queer.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
have like 4 passion planners. I've been using it since I started college.
I actually have a couple of the original ones, but then when I graduated college, I was like, there's not so much to write.
Where did you
So,
go? Where did you
huh?
go to college? Where did you go to
Oh,
college?
I went to San Diego State University.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, shout out to Vince, my friend Vince of the SL Artist. He is also an amazing photographer. Someone that I have known for a second, but we really got close because I did a live stream challenge last month for my YouTube channel. He was always
Okay.
there, and actually, this lav mic, it's from him. He let me borrow it,
Oh, that's so nice.
and he
And
gave me
gave
a
you
gift too.
gosh, that's the best gift. I
Such
love it.
a such a kuya. Yeah, I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
Vince. I'm not intimidated of your masculine energy anymore.
I love it. It's a gift.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I do have one more question. Oh no, I
Oh
blanked
no, go
out.
ahead. No, it's okay. It happens.
I mean, yeah, especially the more you get into the conversation. Okay, so I think the last question that I have is I'm not even sure if that was fine, but whatever. Okay. What is your favorite food? One and only favorite food if you had to pick.
Oh no, that's so hard. Um, I would probably have to go with pasta. I
What
love
kind?
noodles. What
Noodles.
kind?
Okay.
What kind? Oh, that's hard. That's so hard. Oh wait, actually, can I change my answer? I think I
Oh
would go
yes.
for ramen. Ramen.
Oh. Oh.
I love ramen. I love
Oh.
soup. I love noodles and
Mm.
combine them together. It's just so good.
Yes. Yes. The dollar. The dollar top ramen. The
Dollar
instant
top ramen and even
Yeah. I'm a big well, I mean, I love food too, just like yourself, but
yes.
I'm also very
What's your
picky.
favorite? Yes, me too.
Well, thanks for throwing back the question to me. It's okay, so it's also hard to. Um, I think as of now, I would definitely pick pasta. I'm not sure if
Okay.
you have eaten or eat a lot at the Cheesecake Factory. They've
Cheese. Oh, pasta. Their
the
pasta's pretty
pasta.
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's I forgot what it's called, but I get it all the time. It's like this chicken pasta, and I'm not really a fan of chicken, but I like the taste. It has like wine. I love mushrooms, so it's like heavily mushrooms. It's kind of
Oh,
brownish, and
I
it's
think
like
I know
kind of
what you're
sweet.
talking about. Okay. I might have tried it at Cheesecake a couple times because they had a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah, and they actually don't even have that much
Ooh,
offerings either. So they just have like
okay,
their several key pastas.
that's true. I love
Oh,
pasta though.
girl, I'm just gonna keep getting hungry if you keep talking about food
Oh, I
because
know.
yeah. Okay, so I think that's actually the perfect segue for us to. Well,
Yay. We're
there's never
gonna
a
move.
perfect segue. My segues are always awkward, always
No, it's
awkward.
okay. It's okay.
No, but no, but really, thank you for answering all those questions. And so now we're gonna move on to the main interview. And my first question for you is, who is Isabel?
Who is Isabel? Where do you
Who
want
is
me to
she?
start?
It's all good. Anything, anything you want to say. It's an open forum.
See, who is Isabel? Isabel is a fashion designer. Isabel is a content creator. And I've been doing this since I was 13. Since I was 13 years old, literally in middle school, I remember it was just I remember it was just one random day and I was back when we were younger, they always ask in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? And I feel like I never really knew how to answer that growing up when I was probably before middle school. I remember like in preschool I put that I wanted to be a hairstylist to fix my mom's hair. Or I wanted to be like a writer, an author, which is still like I still love writing to this day. But I remember where it really came down for me was in middle school. I remember I don't know, I felt like a lot of people my age didn't know what they wanted to do, but one thing that was certain for me was always fashion.
Hmm.
And I loved I loved picking out my clothes in the morning. I loved being able to even pick out I remember in middle and elementary school, I would pick out my clothes for the whole week.
Ve-
I would be right on top of it. And so in middle school I just thought I think I want to pursue fashion and I want to make a name for myself by the time I graduate high school. And
Wow.
so
And you
at
did.
I think I pretty much did. And so I think starting in middle school, I was 13 and I taught myself how to sew.
Wow.
I made my first clothing item. It was like an elephant sweater. It was super cute because it had the elephant's tusk on one side in
Mm.
one color and then the body of the rest of the elephant on the other. So it was really cute and I wore it and I was so proud of it. And then I started selling pocket tees my 8th grade to about sophomore year of high
Oh
school.
my gosh. I mean, okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember when that was like a huge trend.
It was a huge thing, and I remember
Yes,
it
I
in
remember.
8th grade I was on Tumblr. Were you ever on Tumblr?
Yes, I was. Yep. Zenga.
And we're
Have you heard of Zenga?
I've heard of Zynga, but I wasn't on it.
Ah, okay.
But on Tumblr, I was looking at all these pocket tee pictures, and I thought maybe I could make them myself and sell them, make a little money to go to the movies and go eat with my friends after
Yes.
school. And
Yes, you better.
so
You better work for those movie tickets and food for yourself.
exact my parents were not gonna give me that money, so I had to make it so I had to make that money myself, so I sold pocket tees, I sold them out my locker. Obviously, I think you weren't allowed to do that because technically you're selling stuff out of your school locker, but I did it
Yeah, yeah,
anyway.
yeah. No, yeah.
All my friends were
I sold candy at some point. I learned it from my brother, who is like
oh
an
my gosh,
amazing,
yes,
really inspiring entrepreneur, great
candy, chips,
reseller. Yep, exactly. Like, hey, I have something my big.
I would always buy from those kids. I love
Yeah,
that. But I would sell those shirts out of my locker.
yeah.
And then all my friends supported me. My family was pretty supportive too. At
Mm,
first they were like, "Oh, I thought it was just a phase," because I went through a
mm.
dancing phase. I
Oh,
went through a singing.
what kind of dance did you do? I'm curious.
I did like hip hop dancing, a little bit of jazz.
Oh,
I grew up
oh,
dancing as a kid a little bit, but not
I
I
see
wasn't
that.
good by any means. And do you know Quest Crew from America's Best Dance Crew?
I've heard of them, but I don't know if they know me. But yes, yeah,
Well,
I've heard of them. Yes.
I live across a really popular dance studio. I live right near it. And so I used to dance
Oh,
there a little
what's it
bit. I
called?
took a
What's it called?
Quest
Sorry.
Studio. Quest
Oh, Quest
Studio.
Studio. Okay, Quest Studio.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, like, Quest Crew would be there, like, Chachi Gonzalez. I met her
Oh,
like,
they were
I
on ABDC, right?
yes,
America's
yeah,
Best
they were there.
Dance Crew. For the
Like,
youngins who don't know, that was like more than
exactly,
10 years ago, actually.
exactly. So when I was younger, I used to take dance classes. So, yeah, my parents thought it was just a phase, fashion was just a phase, but
Oh.
clearly it wasn't. It stuck out through my whole life. And
Mm-hmm.
then in high school, I also started blogging. I started just documenting all my outfits and my DIYs, just trying to make a name for myself. And it was kind of
Yeah.
weird at the time. It was kind of weird at the time because no one else did it besides me. So
Mm.
I kind of had
Trailblazing,
to
trailblazing.
exactly. So I kind of just had to like just be confident in myself, even though people around my age were not doing it at the time. So I would always just be posting my pictures, like acting like I had a huge following when really I only had like maybe 200 followers who saw my work.
I mean, I feel like in the blog, okay, B, not the vlog. I mean, I feel like in that scene, it's big. Like, I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
remember I know I asked you earlier if you've heard of Zanga, and
yeah,
Zanga basically was born in 1999. So they were like
yeah.
synonymous to Blogspot, like one of the like
Oh, I love.
WordPress, the
Oh yes,
super early OG like
yeah,
original blogging. And then I actually myself also grew up just like blogging, but in my case I was it was like an online diary. And oh my
yes,
goodness,
of
yeah,
course. It is like an online
yeah.
diary because it's like your creative outlet and you get to showcase to people your
Hmm.
style, what you want to do. And what else? What else have I done? In
Yeah.
high school, yeah, I mean, I would always make my dresses and my outfits for homecoming, prom,
Mm.
little events here and there. But then I think where it really started to settle down or started to really like come into fruition that I wanted to do
Hmm.
fashion was when I applied for Project Runway Junior, and then I ended up getting
Yes,
it.
yes. Wait, hold on. You are. Hold on. Let me stop her for a second. She is so funny. She's literally like powering through the whole interview over here. I'm just kidding.
Trying to give whoever Isabel is, this is who I
No,
am.
no, no, just kidding. No, she's good. No, 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 that was so funny. It's it's interesting because I didn't even realize how kind of hard that question was, because more than half the time people are like, "How do I answer this?" And I'm like, "Depend." I mean, it's just really up to you and how you answer it, you know. So yeah, but go ahead,
Question you don't
continue.
get. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I was on Project Runway. I pretty much just applied on a whim. I was just like, I'm gonna just do it, and then
Which we will get to, which we will get
we
to
will
in
get
more
there.
details.
But
I have so many questions. I have so many questions.
it's all good. I'll cut it short a little bit. But yeah, I was on there, and then I graduated high school, went to college, and I graduate in 2022. And since then,
Yeah.
I've just been sewing, designing, making
Mm.
commissions for people,
Ah,
making collections here and there just for my personal portfolio, and just connecting with people. And pretty much that's where I am today. connecting with you,
Yes.
connecting with anyone in my field really, and just what do you call it? Just spreading my work out there, trying to see where I can go with it, building my following. And yeah, we'll just see where it goes. That's pretty much where I am today.
Wow. I mean, that is this whole thing has really been such a beautiful reminder, not just for myself, but for anyone that is tuning in, whether it's on YouTube, the video podcast, or the audio podcast form on Spotify, Anchor, and all of these places. Wow. I'm just kidding, but I it's I yeah, I mean, especially being in the creative industry, especially being Filipino, Filipinx, Filipina, whatever you whatever you choose to identify as. I feel like it's really I feel like hearing stories like these, especially when you don't feel like you necessarily get the backing that you like need to push forward, is so important, which is really why I've decided to really push through with this show, is because
Yeah,
I just wanted to be able to have the opportunity to pick out their brains and minds and how they made it happen. But then in the end, it's a way to give back to the world, to like, hey, you can do this, okay? If they can do it, here are the actionable steps, and you should be able to do it too. You know?
exactly, exactly.
Okay, so my next question is it's funny because I think this is more so for my question, but I'm just curious to see what your side is. So how did we meet?
How did we meet? Let
Online,
me see.
online, because we have not
Oh,
met in
well,
person yet.
obviously, yeah, obviously we just met online, but I remember you were always commenting on my stuff and you were just so interactive than like other followers. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you get ghost followers,
Oh yeah,
like people
no.
who don't even like or comment your stuff, but you just seem so friendly and outgoing whenever you comment on my stuff. So I just had to follow back. And then, I mean,
Yes.
I don't know, I just love seeing all your work and your positivity on my timeline and whatever I see. So
Likewise.
you
It's
just
it's
seem like
funny
such a
because
great
when
person.
I can't take all credit, but thank you. Thank you. But no, okay, no, but seriously though, aside from the sappy stuff, no, just kidding. We love the sap over here. I okay, so first of all, when she followed me back, I like you know, I had a moment. I was like, oh
Oh my
crap.
gosh.
And it's funny because it's actually been quite a minute since I started following you, and I almost forgot how, but then I remembered yesterday when I was just really doing my research on you for this interview.
Mhm.
It was your the chips, the Cheetos chips.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it popped up on my explore page, and I was like, who is this girl who created
Oh
something
my
out of chips?
the Instagram Explore page?
Yes. Oh yeah,
Oh, wow,
no.
so it works. So Instagram
No,
works.
no, it does. No, you I mean, even after I followed you, you like continue to pop up on my explore page. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Very interesting. I had to ask because like the algorithm is weird sometimes. You never know where your content's being pushed. So very
Yes,
cool.
the power of influence. So actually just a little bit off topic here. That's why after this, that's why I'm gonna send you the invite to Clubhouse right away, because the
Thank
algorithm
you.
there, there's well, I know there is some sort of algorithm involved, but it's so like user like inquisitive in a sense that before, like, I think because since it's still in its early stages, we can definitely take advantage of like being seen and like connecting with people just like super like this
Oh
super.
yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah. Oh, me too. Wait, what is my next question? Hold on.
That's okay.
She is
Okay.
amazing. She literally, like, as she was answering her questions, I as she was answering the questions, I was like,
I'm so sorry.
yeah. It's funny too because like I know that in the greater scheme of things, I'm like interviewing you, but in the end, I'm just chatting with you. But also I have to like um keep in mind that I'm the one that's asking the questions, and
It's a
to not like get
conversation
too
though. Yeah.
lost. Yes, yeah, yeah. And but also not to get too lost in the
Oh,
conversation.
I
I'm like,
feel
oh
you.
shoot, where
Yeah.
is this going? Because then it just
I
becomes
totally
like,
understand.
yeah. Okay, so I know that you actually gave us a whole biopic. Just kidding. A whole biopic of your life.
Biopic.
I'm curious. Who was Isabel, or what was Isabel like as a kid growing up? So we're gonna take it back to the back, backpack.
Oh, we're going back. Isabel as a kid growing up. Honestly, in my perspective, I always thought I was kinda shy, especially,
Mm.
I feel like a lot of my family didn't see this route I was gonna take because everyone thought I was always shy. I was always with my parents. Like, you know how like at Filipino parties they tell you to sing or they tell you to do
Oh
this
yes,
or
yeah.
talk about this. Well, as a kid, I was more like I don't want to talk about all that stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
then as a kid, I mean, but wow, that's an interesting question. I haven't been asked that in a minute. As a kid,
Only on this channel you get the full exclusive tea. I'm just kidding.
now I really gotta think. I think in my heart, I always loved to perform, or I always
Mm,
dreamed of, like, being, like, in front of a crowd or whatever. So I remember in, like, 3rd
yes.
grade, I really loved being a part of the plays because I felt like I was on Disney Channel or something.
Yes, oh yeah. You are watching Disney Channel.
Exactly. I loved watching I was a huge Disney girl, so I loved watching a lot of Disney Channel shows, and I even went to,
Yes.
like have you heard of Barbizon modeling or something?
Oh, yes, I've heard of it before. Yes.
Yeah, they used to be at, like posted up at the malls or they come up to you at the grocery store.
Yes.
They'll be like, "Oh,
Scouting.
I think" yeah, scouting or whatever, scouting for your money or whatever. That's
Yeah,
pretty much
uh-huh,
what it
yep.
is. I remember I went to one of those and I was like, "Oh, this is kinda cool," but for the most part, again, like, I feel like my introverted and extroverted, self was still trying to, like, figure itself out when I was younger, and
Uh-huh,
so
yes.
but again, like, I think I always just loved fashion. I still have, like, my Barbie doll when I was 5 years old and I cut up the clothes. I cut up
But for me, I cut the hair.
yeah, yes, I cut the hair, cut the clothes. I
Yeah,
remember my mom was so mad because, she spent money on the dolls and the clothes, and I'm over here
yeah.
cutting the clothes. So I actually still have that doll up on my shelf, and I just keep it as a reminder. Um, I always love to go shopping,
Mhm.
especially in LA, there's this place called the Santi Alley. And it's just a
Mm,
bunch of, like it's just a whole, like, row or street of clothes, and my mom and aunt would always take me there as a kid. Even sometimes now, we don't go as much anymore, but as a kid, we would always go there,
mm.
and I don't know, I ran track in elementary school. I really
Oh,
loved
for some reason, I so saw that. I was like, "Yes, yeah."
yeah, I ran track, like, for 2 years. I'm trying to think what else I did as a kid. I don't know. I feel like when I watched old home videos, I would say I was pretty sassy at times. I also have a younger brother too, so I feel
Yeah.
like growing up we kind of butt heads a lot as when we were younger.
Are you the oldest?
Um, yes, it's only just me and my brother.
Just oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm 22 and he's 18, and we actually go
Mm.
to the same college now. So yeah, crazy. Um,
Y'all are so you well, you specifically, you're so young. I okay, so I will have to admit, I thought you were older just because of like your kind of resiliency. I was just like, this girl is so established. How old is she? Then I saw her bio, 22.
gosh, a lot of
Yes.
people think I'm older, but sometimes I'm like, dang, I'm 22. Sometimes I feel 18 at times. Sometimes I feel like I just graduated high school. I don't know,
Oh,
but
girl, I this year is my actually later this summer will be 10 years since I've graduated high school.
you look good though. You look so
Oh,
2011. You graduated
yeah,
in 2011.
2011. I'm like, oh shoot, it
Good,
just flies. It just flies. Thank you. I super appreciate it. It's the positivity and the happiness. There you go.
exactly. No negativity.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, well, I actually had a well, maybe I'll just say it because this is the podcast where we talk about all things unapologetic, all things passionate, all things in pursuit
Ew.
of. So, no, I'm just kidding. No, but so uh, what am I trying to say? Okay, so what I wanted to say was, according to like some of the podcasts that I've been listening to, a lot of well, for the most part, sicknesses really derive from stress, you know,
Really? Okay. Oh
and
yeah, that's true.
negativity, whatever,
Mhm.
just like especially with someone who is more like I guess someone who's more likely to be really negative is more likely to get sicker than someone who's
Yes, of
just
course.
always taking care of themselves. And I think for me, I'm like, in any shape and way that I can, I always need to take care of my life because, well,
Self-care. Self-care is
because
super
because
important.
we already know, we already know. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
important to take care of yourself, honestly, especially during these times, especially in the last year or two. You
mm-hmm.
gotta just make time for
Yes,
yourself.
yeah, um, yeah. Okay, so next question. I'm like next question. Shut up, just kidding. Oh, actually, uh, I'm actually curious. Um, how has your experience or how is your experience been like? Wait, did I say that? How has how? No, it's how has. I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay, so my next question is how has your experiences been like growing up here or being a growing up as a Filipino American here in the States? Were you born here?
I was born here. I was just born in Bellflower, California, but my parents came from the Philippines. Uh, my
Mm.
dad my dad is from Iloilo, and my mom is
Oh,
from Bacolod,
yes.
and my mom is from
Okay.
Bacolod. Yeah, so I mean, growing up, I feel like I didn't really understand my culture until maybe once I graduated high school, honestly.
Oh, wow.
But I would say that well, here at home we speak Ilonggo, or my parents speak
Oh.
Ilonggo and English. Me, I understand it 100%. I just can't speak it.
Mm.
And I probably should learn a couple phrases and words, but for the most part, like I can 100% understand whenever they talk to me in Ilonggo. And
Yeah.
I feel like what was really hard for me, especially when I wanted to pursue fashion design, was that I didn't know a lot of Filipino designers here. And I was like, I don't know if this is a very attainable goal for me because there wasn't a lot of representation in the fashion industry with Filipino designers. So I kind of had to seek that out for myself. And that's why the
Mhm.
internet and just blogging and being online really helped me a lot because I got to discover a lot of other Filipino other Filipino creatives that also do what I do. And so over
Yeah.
the years, as I started to like really build up my online presence, that's when I started to realize that yes, I can pursue this and I can probably be one of those people that can inspire another young
And you
Filipino.
are. You have.
I hope. Thank you. And
Yeah.
so I I just think I think what's really cool is that over the years representation has really increased in every industry, especially with Asians and Filipinos in
Uh-huh.
general, which
Yeah.
is really
Last year, 2020, y'all. Boom.
exactly. But also there's a ton of like groups that you can be a part of, a lot of forums you can visit. There's Reddit. I love being on Reddit. And so I think just I started to really just grow into my culture the last couple years, especially when I first
Yeah.
because I went to the Philippines back in 2010 and
Nice.
I was 12 though, so I didn't really get to what do you call it? Appreciate it at the time because I thought it was just like a family trip, you know? And then
Yeah, I mean, you were so young, but I mean, even then, I mean, just the fact that you were able to visit,
yeah,
that is super important.
it was awesome because
Yeah.
I do have a big Filipino family here, but I don't have a lot of cousins my age. And so
Oh,
whenever I see, because that's why I really love my boyfriend's family because they're all his age, our age, like, and
is he
so
Filipino?
yes, he's full Filipino too. And so I get to experience that with him. But all my cousins moved
Nice.
away when they were younger, when we were all younger.
Oh
So I only got
no.
to experience like my elementary school days with them. But then through my like teenage years, it was just me and my brother at these family parties,
Oh,
and with just the Filipino adults watching them play mahjong and all that
oh,
stuff. You
oh
know what
my
I mean?
gosh.
So I don't know. I felt like I didn't have like though like that huge like cousin environment that a lot of Filipinos had growing up. And
Yes.
I always wished I could, but thankfully, thanks to social media, I was always able to connect with all my cousins on there.
Yeah.
And that's how we really formed the relationship because of Instagram and Snapchat and all that and Facebook, which is what I'm super grateful for. And I think also I had a lot of Filipino friends growing up, which is great because we're able to share like our culture together. And
Mhm.
back in like middle school and high school, there's like a Filipino group, and that's the part I was. That's where I was. That's who I was always
Aw.
hanging out with. And I don't know, just like after I graduated high school and like took a lot of like college courses and just meeting new people, I started to like really embrace who I was as a young Filipino woman in America. I'm able to really
Mhm.
pave the way for a lot of people who want to pursue their dreams, pursue their passion, especially in the fashion industry, I would say. And so I really hope that one day I'm able to inspire a lot more people, have a broader reach, a bigger reach in terms of like
Yeah,
inspiring a lot of young Filipinos.
yeah. What you just said actually just really reminds me of like the room that I mentioned, the clubhouse
Mhm.
room. For those that are wondering what the room is, so Clubhouse is an app, like an audio based app, and there are different rooms that you can go into for different topics. So, like the one that I mentioned earlier, which was the Filipino-American experience room, in which was the reason why I didn't sleep till like 3 a.m. the night before. You know, that's what everyone was talking about. Like literally,
Yeah.
there is so much intersectionality of stories, no matter if you're first gen or second gen or how
Mhm.
old you are. I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's just
Um,
everyone comes from different parts of life, and everyone has different stories. So that's why having like social media really allows you to relate to other people and hear their stories, which is why I love it.
yeah. And the last thing that I want to say about that before we go to the next question is I think for you specifically, I think just people in general, I get the feeling that the more we lean into who we are and our own truth is really when like the shooting I've been calling it the shooting star, like the shooting star effect of just like boom, you'll be ready to just like be thrown out there and
Exactly.
like your time to shine will, yeah, versus
Exactly. You
versus oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, it's like you pretty much just have to love yourself and really get to know who you are, and then you can really build yourself up to where you want to be. Honestly, you
Yeah,
can't live a life of a lie, you know?
yep, and yeah, and yeah, especially, yeah, I mean it's really hard to lie. What I'm trying to say is you can't lie to yourself. It's hard. I mean, if you're lying to yourself, um I don't know. I mean, I have no words. I have no, not, not. I mean, not no words, but it's just more so like I want to give you a hug. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. It's just like I feel like sometimes the through line from my mind, like going out to my mouth, is like it gets stuck in there somewhere.
It's
Um,
okay.
yeah. Y'all, Isabel Hilado is in the house. It's we're not even like, I mean, I saw many, many questions ago, and she's been providing so much of her life story, so much insight, so much wisdom. And thank you all for tuning in so far. And let's keep going. Okay. So
Yeah,
as I look into my questions, which is still a whole lot more actually, which is really good.
it's okay. I love to
Yeah.
talk.
Oh, me too. Especially with a good cup of coffee. So this question, the next question that I'm gonna ask is gonna reiterate or revisit the question, some of the things that you pointed out earlier. So that question is, at what point did you know that this was something that you wanted to do professionally, and did you
Mhm.
receive the support initially that you needed to sustain this?
Um, so first, when did I realize that this was gonna be what I wanted to pursue professionally, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or when or at what point? Like, what was that
At what
moment like?
point?
Yeah.
Um, I think the moment I really realized it was after Project Runway because before because when I applied to Project Runway, I was just mostly just sewing for myself and doing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
like do it yourself type clothes and just I learned I'm a self-taught designer. And
Mm-hmm.
so everything was purely on my own. And then once I was able to be around people that loved what I do, it gave me a
That
lot of like
lived and breathed the same air you
exactly,
did.
exactly. It gave me a lot of confidence that I did want to do this. And
Mm,
so I would say Project Runway was one of the biggest turning points for me. And even after high school, I created my first I created my first collection right after high school. And it
yeah.
was funny because around that same time I actually got rescinded from Cal State Long Beach they rescinded me because I had a D.
Why? Uh,
I had a D in like my sophomore year of high school on chemistry, and I was really, really sad about it.
D
And
D
yeah,
isn't
I
D
had
D is a passing grade.
yeah, it was, but to my
Or
understanding,
so.
it had to be a C.
Oh
And
no, I'm
so I
sorry.
remember I got off work that day, and then I got a phone call, and they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to find a community college to go to." And I was like, "What?" And so I ended up going to a community college, and which, by the way, is the best thing you could ever do because you get to
Yes,
save a ton of money.
me too. I took
Exactly.
the JC route, junior college route.
Exactly.
I loved it. I loved it. So
I
cheap.
loved it so much.
Quality
And
education. Top
exactly.
notch.
And because of, like, that was probably my first turning point in adulthood too, where I was like, "Dang, like, nothing's ever
Dang.
gonna go my way. Sometimes
Dang.
things are just not gonna go your way."
Yeah.
And I feel like in community college too, I was really able to discover like, take all these classes, meet all these people in the fashion design program, and it just really started to solidify for me as I created these small collections. I was able to discover who I was as a designer. I got to learn how to do a lot of creative direction myself,
Mm,
organizing photo shoots, like posting on social media, content creation, just the whole realm of the fashion industry in general. And I just
yeah.
knew I wanted to make an impact on the fashion industry around that time. And so, yeah, since then, that's what I've been working towards and what I love to do pretty much.
Yes, girl. Yeah, yeah, better. She better.
I
Okay,
try.
we're actually gonna go back. Girl, we're going like this. Okay, so
Sorry.
just putting it out there. Oh no, you're good. No, you're good. I mean, like what you said earlier, we are, or like I, and that was you. We are growing as we go. I'm like, I will get better at this. But what made? Okay, so I know you briefly talked about Project Runway. What? Okay, so I'm really curious. Like, what was going through your mind? Like, what was your like thought process when you decided to apply for Project Runway, and the fact that you got in? You know,
Oh,
I'm curious.
it's crazy. I mean, I used to be a part of a fit and fashion club's like email list because I was
Uh,
so set on going to FITM. And
ooh,
I was part of
yeah,
their
yeah.
fashion club program, and there was an email sent out one night, and they were looking for young designers to
Oh,
be a part of a
mhm.
television show. And I was like, "Oh, I think I'll try it." And so I like filled out the application halfway, but I didn't finish it. But then the next morning, my dad got a call and said, "Oh, someone saw that you're applying online to this television show. Do you want to talk
Oh
to
my
the casting
gosh,
director?" So I guess those websites, they can see you fill it out.
you were scouted, yeah, like
Yeah,
immediately. You were not even done
yeah.
yet.
No, I didn't even press submit or anything. I think I just pressed
Yeah.
saved. And so I was able to talk to a casting producer or casting director that day. And then
Dang.
honestly, the whole process was probably like 3 months, a lot of waiting, a lot of talking to people.
Uh
But
huh.
eventually,
Yeah.
I ended up getting it. And it was kind of shocking. I was just like, that's crazy. Because the thing about me, I was self taught and I didn't really have the opportunity to go to a like what do you call it? Because a lot of the kids a lot of my friends that were on the show, a lot of them went
Mm-hmm.
to like fashion school or they go to a high school that was specifically for the arts, or they were able to take like
Yeah.
sewing courses. But I didn't take any of that because they're expensive. They get super expensive, and plus my parents they work full time, and also they have my
Yeah.
brother in sports. I didn't want to like burden them with another cost. And at the same
Yeah.
time, I was a cheerleader as well, and
Dang, girl.
so there was just a lot of, costs, and so that's why I was
Yes.
like, I'll just learn how to sew on my own, and so
Mm,
that's why it was kind of intimidating for me to be on there because I didn't have a lot of experience like the other kids. So I didn't really last that long. I lasted like 2 episodes, but still though, it was still like a wake-up
that's
call, like, "Yes, I think I wanna do this," you know? And so that's pretty much, like, how it led up to that and how I decided that this is what I wanna do as well.
wow. I well, okay. Well, several things that I want to say. First of all, beautiful story, and second, congratulations. You know, because I mean,
Thank you.
I mean, in hindsight, even though, yeah, you didn't win, or you didn't, you know, like you were eliminated so early.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, you made it. You know, you made it to the
Yeah.
show. Um, whereas a lot of people have applied and they chose you. There was
Yeah.
something in you that they saw and they were like, we're gonna go with
Yeah.
her, you know?
Which is crazy. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, huh. I mean, I was put in that position for a reason, and I mean, I've grown a lot. I've grown a lot since then. I'm not the same designer I was around that
Mm,
time because I was only 17. I just turned 17 at that time, and so
wow.
now that I'm 22, like I'm different now. I've changed a lot in that amount of time, and so I'm very thankful for that experience because yeah, I've grown a lot since then.
Wow. Actually, I think I just have one more follow-up Project Runway question. How was it like meeting wait, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who were the judges in your
It
show?
was it was Tim Gunn and I think it was Hannah Davis. That's her name. Tim Gunn and Hannah
Okay.
Davis. She was like she's a
Okay.
model, and then obviously Tim Gunn is
Okay.
like head of the heads.
Oh my gosh.
it, it
How
Oh my gosh. It was
good.
it was crazy. So pretty much the very first day of filming, they told us that we weren't gonna see Tim Gunn and that we were just gonna meet the other host, Hannah Davis. And so
Mhm.
they took us this is my first time in New York ever too. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
it was definitely an overwhelming experience, like so many things happening. But I
The
remember they
weather,
took us
yeah.
exactly. They took us to the top floor of this building, and you got to overlook the whole New York from this
Oh
building.
my
It was
gosh.
crazy. And so they made us like walk in. I remember like everyone was kind of nervous because this was our first time being like actually on camera. And so, we all walked in and then we see Tim Gunn come out and we were just like we thought we weren't
Screaming,
gonna
yeah.
we thought we weren't gonna see him, but we were oh my gosh, like I was teary-eyed, like all of us were shook pretty much.
Mhm.
And it was just awesome being able to be in his presence, especially since he has such like influence in the fashion industry. And
Yes. Yeah.
and also just being around other people that like what I do for the very first time ever, since I never got the opportunity to be around other kids like other kids who love to do what I do.
Mhm.
It was just an awesome experience just being around these people and it, what you see on TV, like the stress is definitely real. It's
I
100%
bet.
real. And but the thing is, like, I learned how to work under pressure, and
Yes.
especially me, to this day, I'm still a huge procrastinator at times.
Oh, me
And
too.
exactly, but at the same time, though, like that's where I really grew. So I'll always like be thankful for the whole Project Runway experience.
Wow. Would you ever audition for another project related reality show?
Um, if 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 I'm if I'm
Go
maybe I
go.
would. I think I would, but I just have to feel like I don't know. I feel like I need to be in the right place first because right
Oh,
now
oh yes.
I'm still in school. Like I still have all
Yeah.
these things that I want to accomplish first before I put myself out there again, especially
Yeah.
like on national TV like that.
I
But
bet.
but
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
bet.
now that I know how it is, I feel like let me be in a good place first, and then I'll do it. Or let me
Yeah.
be at least in a good point, and then I'll do it again. But I mean, if the opportunity comes, I'll probably do it again. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. That is crazy, y'all. Y'all heard it here, okay? Y'all heard it here on the podcast.
We'll
Oh my goodness.
see.
Yeah. Okay, so actually my next question is I do have a couple more important questions. Well, I mean they're just questions really. Wow. Trying
Oh,
to toot
keep
my own
going.
horn. Important questions. I'm just
I
kidding.
love it. I love it. Every question is important.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so my next question actually is who are your fashion inspirations and where do you get your inspirations from? I'm curious.
Ooh, like, are you talking about fashion inspirations like designers or influencers, just in
Uh
general?
y- all.
Just all of it. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Let me pull up a list of designers that I
Yeah,
really
okay, go.
so I have like I have my fashion design account that I'm gonna start posting on this year. And on
Mm,
that account, like I follow like over 100 designers that I'm inspired by.
mhm.
But at the moment, I really love Kim Shui. She makes a lot of really she makes a lot of really like, how do I describe her style? She has a very like feminine, very like powerful design aesthetic,
Mm,
but she also
mm-hmm.
incorporates her Chinese heritage into her garments, which I really love.
Yes.
And that's really inspiring to me. She stays true to her aesthetic and she incorporates a lot of different prints and color, and it's super fun, super bright. And she makes like dresses, pants, shirts, and they're all every piece of hers like I love because she
Mm-hmm.
incorporates a lot of different colors and textures, and it's just super nice. And
Yeah.
I also really love 3.1 Philip Lim. If you ever heard of him,
I've heard of Philip
Philip
Lim.
Lim.
Streetwear? Is he streetwear?
He does like streetwear, women's wear. Actually, he does like both menswear and women's wear. And
Okay.
he was honestly one of my first favorite designers because I remember I was buying like a fast fashion replica of his one of his work back when I was younger. And I remember I wanted to rebuy it, and then his name came up, and I was like, "Oh, I really love his work." So to this day, I still think he's super inspiring. He also went to Cal State
Mm.
Long Beach,
Wow.
which is really like super inspiring to me as well, since if he can do it, especially he's also Asian as well. If he can do it,
Yes.
I can do it too. And so I also really love I need to say this right.
Very
Have
good.
you heard of Jacquemus? Jacquemus?
Ooh.
Jacquemus? Jacquemus?
Ooh.
I suck at
Go you better name drop.
his,
Yes.
his
That sounds right to me. That sounds French.
he's a French
French
designer.
French ratatouille. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? He's a French designer, and his aesthetic is just so dreamy and so feminine, and he's always incorporating a lot of like small details, whether it's like a lace up back or the way that he cuts his
Oh.
garments. And
Oh.
I just love how he really celebrates like the femininity of like a woman's body, whether it's
Mm.
through dresses or like a crop top or like some like form fitting pants. Also, his menswear is super good, and
Dang.
I just I don't know. I'm just inspired by so many different designers, but those are three that I really love right now. And I also love fashion influencers. This one girl, she's her name's I think it's Janelle, but on Instagram she goes by Janelle V, and she's from
Mhm.
Las Vegas, and she has such really colorful and bright outfits. And she's a streetwear influencer, I would say. And her
Mm.
outfits are just so different and so fun. And I also love this girl in New York. Her name is Was Good, and I think her
Oh.
name's Alani. And she has also super fun, super bright outfits that I'm super inspired by. She really knows how to like coordinate patterns and colors and
Ooh.
textures. And so those are two influencers that I really love right now. And so yeah, right now I'm just super inspired. I would say I do love creating women's wear, but I'm also kind of dabbling in men's wear as I go because I feel like I want to design for everyone as I'm starting to learn. And I feel like fashion just has no limits, and so I always wanna just push myself. And so right now,
Yes.
I call my design aesthetic street chic. I get a lot of inspiration from streetwear
Mm.
details, but also bringing in a more feminine flair to it. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, we'll see how it goes as I'm gonna create my brand this year. I'm working on it, and
Yes, which is a
we'll see
question
how
that
it
I
goes.
have later. Yeah.
I'm excited,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
pretty much who I love right now.
Nice. Well, also, just to piggyback on what she said, Isabel over here is one of my fashion inspirations. Just kind of seeing her hustle and just seeing her just literally be in her body, in her flow. And I'm like
Aw, thank
being
you.
someone that no, you're welcome. And I sincerely mean that. Being someone who not only celebrates being themselves, but is also like straight up unapologetic. Like
Mhm.
it's yeah, you're
I
doing
try
it. Yeah.
I try to be because especially in this industry, there's a lot of people who aren't genuine with how they move. There's a lot of people who are willing to
Hmm.
like step over each other just to make it to the top.
Uh-huh. Rat
But for
race.
me, exactly. But it's like, why are we in a competition? You know, there's a time for everybody. And so that's why throughout my journey, whatever I put out, whenever I interact with people, I try to be genuine and real with everybody that I come across,
Yeah.
everybody that I meet, because you never know when you're gonna work with someone again in the future.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
never know how, like, you just never know. So that's why you just have to be kind to everybody.
Yes, just be a good person in general.
Exactly.
The world
Ex-
needs more kindness.
Exactly. So I try to be
Yeah.
kind throughout everything that I do, even though sometimes I have a lot of fashion opinions and I'm very opinionated with all that. But I still
And
like
you
I
and you
try
get
to
to be and you get to be
yeah,
like I guess the point that I want to make is we get to be ourselves in a way where we get to like speak what's on our mind and not be
exactly.
looked at as a bad person, but just as
Exactly.
someone who has an opinion, who has information to share, and basically a point of view, which is so important. Someone like a creative, or I mean, just a person in general that has their own point of view, and yeah,
Exactly. And it's so
yeah.
interesting to hear other different points of view as well. So that's what I'm
I mean,
trying to do.
especially with the recent presidential election. I mean, that that was really interesting.
Oh, oh my gosh. I'm so
A real test to agreeing to disagree.
been a crazy 4 years, but we're looking into something different. And
Yes,
I'm
amen,
happy. We're in
amen.
we're in better times, hopefully.
Yes. Okay, so my friend, we're actually gonna jump again. We're like jumping everywhere. So I actually
Okay.
wanna, as we actually get closer to the conclusion of this interview, and thank you again for answering all these questions.
Of course.
Um,
I am having a great time.
oh, me too. Oh, me too. Yeah, we're already like at an hour 25, and we're like almost like halfway because in normally in the episodes that I've had, they're usually ending, but I get the feeling that this is gonna go a little bit longer, which is good.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
thank you. Okay, so my next question for you is so bringing it back to Instagram, um, you are someone that's always been on point with their content creation, and it's
I
funny.
try.
No, 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 serious. I really mean that. And I remember at some point you did a post recently how you like had to take a break
Yes.
from content creation, which I want you to talk about towards the end, but I think for this question, what are some of your um ooh, girl, hold on. Hold on, wait.
It's okay.
The question, okay, okay, so bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Reel it in.
Wait.
Instagram, reel it in, reel it in. There you go.
Reels.
Actually, I'm just gonna repeat the question one more time. So, okay.
Go ahead.
So, so bringing it back to Instagram, you are someone that's always been someone that I considered on point with their game, showing up
Thank you.
basically. What I'm curious, what is your mindset? Like, what are some of your processes in terms of content creation, especially for anyone tuning in that is interested in using social media as a way to show up for themselves?
Well, like we were talking about earlier, I just try to be genuine in everything that I put out. I think one of my biggest goals with content creation is that I want to inspire others and help others along their journey, along their fashion journey, whether it's with clothes or design. And
Hmm.
I just want to be able, like how we were talking about earlier as well, like I want to represent these young these young Filipinos, especially
Hmm.
in our creative industry, that they can do what they want to do pretty much.
Yeah.
There's no limits. You don't have to be afraid about posting online and what you love to do.
Yes.
And pretty much my thought process for anything is also I try to be what do you call it? I try to make content that's like different in a way.
Hmm.
Because I really love being an online personality. I love um last year I really loved making YouTube videos and stuff. I'm gonna slowly start getting back
Yes.
into it. I always say that. The thing is, like, I have to try to fit it in into my life, but that's the goal of this year. But I really love just how we can share things online and other people can view it. You know what I mean? Especially in the creative field. Like, you can literally look up a video about anything, like a video on how to sew a
Yeah.
button or how or like Depop challenges, like how
Oh
to
yes, yeah,
buying $50 worth of clothes off like Depop or at the thrift store at the swap meet. I just love being able to showcase like the fun side of me, and and I love having my boyfriend in the
yeah.
videos as well because like I think we really complement each other in that
Yes, you
sense.
two, you two look good together. You two are such a you two
Thank
complement each
you.
other. Powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
Yes.
Thank you. But I try to make content that is very fun to watch, something that people
Hmm.
can learn from, or something that people can feel inspired by, or just or just be unique with it, and just
Yeah.
that something that really showcases your personality and how you are. Because people will definitely relate to you more rather than if rather than having like your own fabricated persona, you know?
Mm. Hmm.
Especially if someone meets you um off if someone meets you in person and then
Yeah.
you're not the same person that you are
Oh
online.
yes,
You
yeah.
want to
That
just
is.
be just be yourself because I feel like a lot of people are really giving into this whole like influencer culture and
Ugh.
trying to just like fake who they are. It's
Yeah.
really not the way to do it. And I honestly that's how and being genuine in all my work and what I do is how I was able to gain a more like what do you call it? A more organic following, I would say. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
A more
Yeah.
organic and genuine following. So, like, all the people that I follow or the people that follow me, they obviously follow me for a reason, so you just gotta
Yeah.
keep putting out content that also, like,
Caters to your audience.
fulfills that exactly, that caters to my audience and
Hmm.
what they love. So, I mean, it's definitely a learning process. There are days where it's tiring, and there are days where, like, it feels like this isn't enough or
Oh
not
yeah.
it's not doing too well, or you get
Uh,
discouraged because a video doesn't do well, or, like, you don't get enough likes, which sucks because that's just the whole social media game. But
yeah.
at the
Sadly,
same
yeah.
exactly. At the same time, you just gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep pursuing what you love.
Keep showing up.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep showing
You
up.
gotta and then you just gotta keep posting as well because
Yeah.
this is I've had my Instagram since about 2013, I believe, and
2011.
so
10 years now. It's crazy. Yeah.
yes, I've had it for a very long time, and
Yeah.
so I've seen the whole platform grow
Yeah.
seen all these new platforms come in, and see all these people trying to make something out of themselves from social media, and so it's been a fun process, honestly, and you just gotta
Yeah.
keep going, keep posting, don't take breaks when you need to, and
Mhm.
if you
Which is
get
super important.
discouraged
Super
exactly,
important.
very important, and if you get discouraged, just try to move take your time. Obviously, don't ignore your
Mm.
feelings when you're feeling
Oh,
burnt out
yes.
and discouraged.
Yeah.
Take your time, like, really understand why you're feeling that way, and then
Yes.
once you take that time, really channel it into something new to drive you and propel you to be better than what
Ooh,
you were. So that's why like a
I
month
love
and a
it.
half, the last month and a half I've kind of been like, oh, like I would say kind of burnt out pretty much because I just felt like my content wasn't good enough or like I feel like I could have been doing a lot more. But now it's just this year's the year of change and so I'm willing to like take everything that I learned last year and push it into this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much that's where I am. I feel like I went on a tangent, but that's pretty much
Yeah.
the whole world of content creation. It's a cycle.
Oh, no, you're good. You are in a podcast where tangents are so welcome. Actually,
Yeah.
before we continue, off topic. Is is this on bothering you? Like lighting wise?
Oh, it's like it's my curtain. So I'm trying to like move it around. Let me see. Let me, let me move it because it's a lot of natural lighting and oh there you go. That's perfect. It's a
Oh,
lot
that's
of natural lighting in this room.
oh no,
So
yeah. No, yeah. It almost looked like the sun was like kind of
yeah,
burning you just a little bit. Oh
this is
yeah.
good though. This is better.
That is so much better. Can we start again? I'm just kidding. I'm
I
just kidding.
know, right?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Okay, that's good. No, yeah, it's really important to normalize talking about burnout because as you already know in the hustle culture of like especially within the last 5 years of like being in social
Mhm.
media, everything is just like so like go, 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 go. And then in the end, for what? Vanity metrics?
Exactly.
Like really for what?
Exactly.
Hmm.
You just have to really make goals for yourself and ask yourself why you're doing this, you know? Are you doing this for money? Are you doing it because you love doing it? Or
Yeah.
are you so I don't know, it's just a matter of, like, setting goals for yourself, really, and what
Yeah.
you
And
wanna accomplish.
yes, and also like I know for me, and I know for a lot of people, they can relate to this. That it's really about it's a marathon and not a sprint because as
Exactly.
you girl, being someone who used to do track, yeah. If you basically use all your energy in the very first couple minutes, then you're done. It's about
Exactly.
longevity, sustenance, sustaining yourself.
Exactly. You wanna be able to grow with your journey, and even though maybe you'll have a video blow up overnight or have something, I don't know, just, like, all of a sudden you start getting a lot of followers, you still gotta be genuine with yourself, you know? Don't change
Yeah,
who you are. Don't change who you
yeah.
are because all of a sudden you have all these followers, you know? And it's taken me a while just to get to, like, 10,000 followers on Instagram.
Yes,
Trust
bitch, you
me,
better.
I've had shoot, I've had that Instagram account for since high school, and I was stuck at the same number for a very long time.
Yeah,
But it feels good because I know my journey, and I know what it took to get to where I am today, and
yeah.
so I always just gotta, like, think back on how I first
And what
started
it
sometimes.
and what it represents, and
Ex
what the whole thing represents for you.
exactly. It's a part of my story and a part of, like, who I am and eventually the story that I'm gonna tell someday, and so you wanna be able to be proud of what you put out, and
Yes.
yeah, that's pretty much, like, how you should view social media and how you should view content creation, really.
Yeah, because I mean, earlier you made a point about um being authentic and showing up as you are, which is what I always advocate, especially showing up as you are. Like even like if you're sad, show up sad. If you're angry, show up angry. Just
Mhm.
just show up as you are um at that
Exactly.
very moment. And also we are definitely, because the whole social media journey, there's been so much like changes, like you've said, the journey, and we are definitely at a point now we can definitely when or where we can definitely smell when someone is being fake. It's so
Oh,
obvious.
yeah,
It's like
for sure.
I'm like
Exactly.
the overtly like beautiful photos, posts, stylized, which is okay in my point of view of that is, while there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion, I
Mhm.
do think that with where social media has gone and grown into, it's also like a social response. It is also a social responsibility to with whatever you put out. It is a social responsibility,
Exactly.
and I think it's really important to normalize putting out things that are actually normal.
Raw and real.
Normal. Not sure that made sense.
Exactly. And also, like, you shouldn't even compare yourself to others because,
Oh yeah.
you know, people only put their best self on Instagram or on social media in general. You never know what people are going through behind the picture or behind the video, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes some of these photos and videos that you see, they're just, like, that person's getaway from, like, their reality, you know? So you
It
should
was a
never really
snapshot, literally a
exactly,
snapshot, a singular moment.
exactly. So you should never really judge, like, you should never really judge, like you should never really judge or compare, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah,
everyone goes
yeah.
through things, and so it's important. It's important to just keep that in mind whenever you navigate social media, really.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, my friend, we are down to the last couple of questions of the interview. You've you've
Yay.
you are amazing. I love talking to
Oh,
you, and
thank you. Oh my gosh.
and I'm so thankful that we finally had the opportunity
I
to collab,
know.
because I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I wanna not only get to know you, but I'm like, I definitely saw you as someone that I'm like, I want to work with her. I definitely want to work with her
Well,
in some shape or way. So I think this is the first step. So
I'm so happy. Thank you again.
you're welcome. Okay, so my segues are horrible. Horrible. Okay, so my next question is what are some advices you can give to someone like yourself who has dreamed and actually wants to be in the fashion industry? From your perspectives, what actionable steps do you think one should take to get there?
Um, Especially if you wanna be a fashion designer, right?
Yes, fashion designer, yes.
Okay. Well, especially if you wanna be a fashion designer, you should definitely learn how to sew and and at least know at least know the basic
Hand sew, yeah, hand sew,
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
learn how to
Yeah.
know how to hand sew, know how to use machines as well.
Yeah.
Because especially in the last year, there's been a boom of, like, designers, but then again, some of these designers don't know how to sew or don't even know, like, the basic construction of clothes. So
Yes, yeah.
it's
Mhm.
very important to know how clothes are made and how to even do them yourself because you're eventually, if you do decide to take fashion design full time as your job, you're going to have to communicate to people in the industry such as like pattern makers and manufacturers and all that. So you have to know how patterns work. You have to know how
Mhm.
you have to know like the type of stitches that you want. You just have to know all the sewing and design basics really.
The
So
foundations of anything,
exactly.
technique,
It
technique.
it's always important to know the foundation. It's better to know the technique so you can build a foundation that can
Yes.
eventually bring you to your ultimate goal. And
Yes.
so with learning your basic skill set, you should also let me see. You can also learn a lot of that online. Um, because that's exactly how I first learned before I went into college. I learned through like YouTube, and there's a lot of like courses online you can take. There's a lot of free videos, but also
Now it
courses
Nowadays, yeah, there's
exactly,
just so much more resources available than
exactly.
it's ever been.
And there's a lot of what do you call it? And even like there's courses online that are pretty cheap, like probably less than 200, less than 100, and you'll still learn a lot of valuable skills. So it's definitely
Yeah.
it's great that we have the internet and all these creators that are willing to share their information.
Yeah.
And so with sewing and design, you also want to at least have some type of social media presence
Mhm.
because personally, I feel like it's kind of hard to build a brand with like 0 followers or like even just like 50 or even 100. You want to be able to
Mm.
have some sort of hype behind your brand, behind who
Mm.
you are and what you're working on, if
Yes.
that makes sense. And so build your social media presence, whether it's through like showing your behind the scenes of your day as a designer or showing like what you're working on right now or what's your mood board, what are you inspired by, photos that
Mm.
you love, and you just want people to recognize who you are, what your name is, and what you're going to be putting out as a designer. And also network and connect with people, especially right now in this day and age. Like there are so many
Clubhouse,
things going
Clubhouse,
like
everyone,
out.
Clubhouse, Clubhouse. I'll
Exactly
send you
that.
Clubhouse after.
There's that Clubhouse. You have Instagram. You have Twitter. I met a lot of people off TikTok. A lot of good
Oh,
friends. And a lot of
shoot.
amazing people off TikTok. And people of all different industries, but I met a lot of designers off TikTok as well that I now follow. Um,
Wow.
because you want to know that you're supported in your journey and that you're not going through all of that alone. And so it's
Yes.
great to connect with other individuals and other people. So definitely connect with others in your field if you can. I wouldn't say okay, here's the whole controversy. Like fashion
Oh,
school,
go say it. Go say it, girl. Go ahead. Go
fashion
spill the
school,
tea.
I will try. Fashion school, you definitely, if you have the money, go ahead and do it. And I mean, I'm in school right now for fashion design and I love it. I think it's great. But then I wish back then I was educated on the different routes I could have taken to get my
Hmm.
fashion design degree. And so don't be afraid to go to community college. Don't be afraid to go to trade schools because
Yes.
you can learn the same amount of skills and instantly work in the industry that you want to.
Yeah.
And just go straight to the workforce and do and get what you need. Because there's a lot of designers out there who don't even have like a bachelor's degree or anything. But I
Yes.
mean, that's what I mean, yes, I am pursuing my bachelor's degree right now, but that is just my advice to anyone who is just about to start or who is starting and they're rethinking kind of their path. Like you can don't be afraid to explore like the opportunities like trade schools and community colleges and all that because
Mm,
it can bring
yeah.
you to the same path. Because the fashion industry is all about really all about connections, how you market yourself, like who you know, and then also your talent. And
Yeah.
so I feel like with fashion design as well, sometimes that vision like that you have for clothes, it's not what do you call it? It's not
Mm.
taught. You have to teach
Mm,
yourself how to design
yes.
and and what you like and what you like because no one's going to tell you yes you're going to yes you have to design like I don't know you have to design no one's going to tell you your design aesthetic you have to find it yourself
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
much is what I'm saying and
Yes. Yeah.
and so definitely like to help you hone your design aesthetic and see what you love and what kind of designs that you want to do Pinterest is such a great way to
Hmm.
sorry, there's a
Oh yeah.
fly.
Very
Pinterest
good.
Pinterest is such a great app. I'm on it every day, and you're able to
Mm.
find a lot of different fashion inspiration.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Instagram, because of the save feature, I really love because I have boards on Instagram that I'm able to save different pictures to, whether it's like models I want to work with, photographers I want to work with, my favorite influencers. I'll save their outfits or designs in a board, and
Yeah.
so really you have to know your design aesthetic and what you want to do.
Mm.
And other advice that I have is just to remember that this is a process. As much as we really want to blow up overnight, as much as we want to make all those sales and all that, it's not going to happen in just one day.
Yeah.
Because for me, a lot of people ask me, "Am I selling? Am I selling stuff?" And
That is, that yeah, no, no, yeah, that is a follow-up question that I
yeah,
have that I didn't write down. But in terms of like sustainability, yeah, yeah, can you actually talk about that? Like how does like yeah, like how
yeah,
can a fashion designer sustain themselves financially in this field, your
yes.
field?
Oh, yes, we will get
Girl.
there.
Yes.
Well, for one, you this is not a race, like I said, and you just do have to be prepared. Um, I'm thankful because I worked a lot of retail jobs and I saved up, and
Mm.
also a lot of my costs are split because a lot of my costs are low because I still live with my parents, and I'm
Oh yes.
thankful. I'm thankful for that. Like they let me have this little room for my sewing and all that, and so save as much money as you can and know how much you want to spend for like your first collection or your budget that you want to use pretty much. Um, I did have to work a job to save all my money. I still had to work
Yes.
my little 9 to 5 when I was working at Disney. Right now I'm on unemployment. I mean,
Oh,
I'll eventually look for a job soon, maybe. We'll see. But
God bless for unemployment.
exactly. I've been
Yeah.
collecting
Oh,
that as
I
well.
think she
So,
froze. Oh,
oh
I
no.
think I froze.
Ah,
Oh no. Oh,
oh no. Oh, I think you froze. Oh no.
oh, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back.
oh,
Okay.
I hear you, I hear you, okay. I think your screen is a little frozen. Oh, I see you. Okay,
Okay. Hey, it actually took like it just happened now. It normally happens all the time. Okay,
I
that's good.
love
Okay.
it. Yay.
Okay, okay, okay. So continue your thoughts. Sorry. Where you feel like the whole thing cut off? Do you remember? Can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Oh no. Isabel, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Or you can I okay. I can't hear you. That is interesting. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, on my end, my AirPods are playing. That's interesting that the thing dropped. Do you wanna let's see. Go to your cam mic If you like just go down the screen over here, you'll see the cam mic feature. Just press on it and go to audio, and then on speak. Wait, is it speaker? No, go to mic. It should be the first one above. Go to mic, and then just double check that it's still your AirPods. That's interesting. No, wait, is it me or you know what? Actually, I think the only other that idea that I have is, would you mind just exiting here and then just going back again, just to see if it changes anything? Oh, you can't hear me now. That's funny. There are two people watching on this. Y'all, so this is what happens. This is how we're navigating now in our new normal world. So we're just trying to figure out what happened. I mean, I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Isabel. Normal world. So we're just trying to figure out what happened. I mean, I'm not sure if it's me. Oh, look. It's I'm not sure if you can still hear me, but my sound is working. Yeah. Okay, so for those that are tuning in on the live recording, we are just having technical difficulties. So welcome to the process of building soul supremacy. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep talking for now. Yeah, talking to Isabel has been. I can hear you now. Wait, I'm hearing something. I Oh, you can't hear me? I can
Wait,
hear the struggle's real. Hold on.
hello? Oh,
I can
hello?
hear. I can
Can you
hear
hear me?
you.
Okay,
Yes.
now I can't hear you.
Go go back to okay. So my only other
Let me
suggestion is,
see.
do you just wanna I will text you. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay,
That's weird.
try
That's so funny.
she gave me her number, so we're texting each other. We're besties. No, shut up. Just kidding. No, yeah, we are. Try
Oh.
exiting.
Wait, so you can hear me, right? Oh, I can't hear you. That's weird.
Let's see.
Try
Hello.
exiting off.
Mm-hmm. Come back.
Oh, so should I leave the studio?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. That's the end. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're just trying to figure it out. Hi, everyone in the chat section. I've seen. Let's see. Hi, Dan. Hi, Jess. Hi, Sheila Lalabs. So, let me let her in. Let's let her in. Hold on. How to get up this? Thank you all for tuning into the live recording of Soul Supremacy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're not in my AirPods anymore.
Oh.
Or hello?
Hello. I can. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah.
me? Okay.
Yes. Can you hear me?
No, you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Okay, good.
resume. That is funny. That is
Oh,
funny.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe because like when you froze,
Yeah. It's
something happened.
yeah. I don't think I've never experienced anything like that, because the reason why I like using StreamYard, the thing that we're using, is because even it's funny because even if I lose my internet connection, it will keep the room going. So like there's this one time I
Really?
was going live.
Okay.
Yeah. There's this one time I was going live and my internet was was like not working, but I was able to get it started. It lasted for a while and I had friends in the live stream with me, like yourself. So the fact that they were inside, and even though I started the room and I lost internet connection, the room kept going. So my live kept going.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
versus Zoom. That's why I don't want to use Zoom, because I know with Zoom
And Zoom
it
has a
like
time limit too.
oh yeah, that too, yeah. And also
It's
with
like
Zoom, like
45 minutes.
yes, and if you lose your internet connection, the whole thing is like, I think it shuts out.
It does.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can tell there's a logo above your head. Is
I
it? Is it?
know. Yes.
It's you. It's you, right? It's you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
right there.
Logo. Yeah. Where were we? That is so interesting. Maybe.
Um,
Maybe it's a sign for us to.
I know,
Um.
right?
No. I mean. No. I mean. That wasn't what I was gonna say. I think it's a sign for us to like. Um. Start clean with like a point.
Clean.
Hold on. Wait.
Huh?
So you wait. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. You were talking about processing
I,
everything. I- Do you remember?
I think it was like advice for designers, and I think I was talking about like the money aspect of it.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh wait, you were talking. Yes. Okay. Good. So let's just start there because I don't think
Yes.
you really got into it. Thankfully,
Okay.
to yeah. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
no. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yes, you're good. Okay, lighting is good. I just wish your lighting was like that the whole time, but it's all
Oh
good.
my, I'm so sorry. I didn't think I was gonna do that.
Oh no, you're good. No, it was just more so like at some
Yeah.
point I felt your face like it's burning me. You know. So
It was just so bright. It's all good though.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So my
Um,
follow up question is okay, so my follow-up question is with what you said about being able to sustain in this career. Would you mind talking about how
yes.
can one sustain in your field? Go. Okay.
Okay. So pretty much I was working retail jobs since high school and I just saved up a bunch of money from it. And I would always work part-time because I was also a full-time student. And so I try to save as much money as I can up to the point where the pandemic made me lose my job. And so
Talk
even to
about
this
stability. I'm sorry, hold on. Talk about
time,
stability. People would be like, get a stable job. Go work for someone. Go work for this
yeah,
person. Stability. And those jobs were the first ones to disappear. Just saying.
exactly. And so I tried my best to save as much money as I can. Even now, like I still have unemployment that is thankfully
Mhm.
keeping me afloat, allowing me to
Yes.
pay my bills, pay for school, especially. I pay for
Oh,
school completely on my own. Like my parents don't help
wow.
me. My parents don't help
Wow.
me pay for school, so I've been able to get like loans and scholarships. So
Mm,
that really helped
mhm.
me a lot and saved a lot of money. And so to really sustain yourself, fashion design is an expensive career to get into. Let me be honest, because thankfully I've been able to collect all my machines over the years, all my fabric, everything that I have, I've collected over the years. But I've definitely, if I were to calculate how much I've spent or
How much?
how much my parents have put into this, and how much like I don't know how much people have, like, invested in me. It's a lot. It's maybe a couple thousand starting from when I was 13 to now 22. It's definitely been a long time. But if you're just starting fresh, I definitely recommend buying secondhand machines, looking
Mm,
on OfferUp, looking on Craigslist, um,
yes.
going going to the LA going to the LA Fashion District to buy your supplies because it's so much cheaper there sometimes than buying online.
Yeah.
Um, and also don't be afraid to like take on small little sewing jobs here and there. So every now and then I
Yes.
do so every now and then I do alterations for like
Oh, okay.
what do you call like 10, 15, $20. People will ask me to DIY something for them or I'll do like big commissions like if someone wants a pair of pants, someone wants a dress, someone wants
Ooh.
not shoes, what was I saying? If someone wants like pants, shorts, why do I keep saying shoes? I mean shorts. If
Well,
anyone
mhm.
if anyone wants anything, I will try my best to do it. So don't be afraid, take on those small little projects for some income. And just really once you've saved up enough money, at least have like maybe 1 to 2 thousand for your first drop or your first collection
Oh.
because that's a decent amount to get your fabrics together, get all your supplies together, get everything situated, especially if you're gonna have a photo shoot, you wanna pay your models, if you wanna pay your photographers, because it's a business. It's a
Is
whole thing.
Isabel, I'll shoot you for free. Just putting it out there. I
Thank you. But I try when I was first starting, I feel like a lot of the people I worked with, we all had an understanding that
oh no, yes.
we're all like helping each other out
Growing. No,
because
yes,
a
yeah,
lot of
which is
us
super
don't have
important.
A lot of us have
Yes.
don't have money to pay each other and whatever. And so sometimes don't be afraid to like take on free work, but
Yes.
also know
Yeah.
your worth. But also know your
Mm,
worth at the same
mm.
time
Yes.
because you don't want to sell yourself short. But
Yeah.
I remember at the beginning, I would always just like gift my model something at least because
Oh, yes.
I didn't have money to like pay all these people, especially at the beginning. But
Yeah.
now I'm definitely going to be paying people
Yes.
from then on because um what do you call it? Because at the time that I haven't done a collection in like 3 years, but
Yeah.
right now I have like I think I have like 5 collections right now or 4 collections that were just for portfolio purposes. But all of us
Oh.
had an understanding that like we're all just here for like to create content, but at the same time, like
You're creating everyone here. I get the feeling that
yeah,
everyone understood that y'all are
exactly.
creating
Exactly.
opportunities and doors for yourselves.
Exactly. Especially like it's hard right now with the topic of money and getting paid for what you do and for what you want. And so
Mhm.
make sure you have an understanding between who you want to work with, who
The
you
business side
exactly,
too. Yeah.
exactly, who you want to work with and who you want to bring on because you have to be transparent. Like you have to tell them like, oh, this is not a paid gig, or
Yes.
oh, this is not a paid
L-
gig, or like, yeah, sorry, I'm not
Let
gonna pay you, but
let's
this
be
is for
on. Yes,
portfolio.
let's just be honest and upfront from the beginning. Yeah.
Exactly. You just be honest from the beginning and know what each of you have to gain from this. But personally,
Yes.
now as I move forward, as I've began to really save up, of course I'm gonna be starting to pay people because everyone deserves like some type of compensation for your time,
Hmm.
especially if you're good at your craft. So
Yes.
definitely there's also nothing wrong with being picky on who you work with too.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Because certain people have way more experience than others, more people can deliver something than another person. So just do your research on who you work with, what their rates are. If you're like, I guess, how do I say this? If like your goals line up, because you don't want to work with just anyone, you know? And
Yes.
so really always do your research, make sure you and the people you work with have an understanding of what you guys are doing. And yeah, I don't want it to make it seem like I don't want to pay people. It's just this industry this
No.
industry is hard. Yeah, this industry is hard. Everyone's struggling, you know. And so I always try my best to compensate in some way from like
You.
since my last
Yeah.
question, honestly.
You know what? Well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you for your honesty, and second, well, it's I can very much say the same with my collective, with the people that I work with in San
Mhm.
Diego. It's I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes like the opportunity is much bigger than monetarily.
Exactly. Exactly. I've taken on so many opportunities that were not even paid, and they allowed me it's opened up other doors for me.
Yes,
And
yeah.
so just just be picky. I mean, be picky, but also like be picky, understand your worth, but also like understand
Mhm.
another person's perspective as
Selective,
well.
selective. I
Yes.
get the feeling you're trying to say selective. You're
Yes.
selective.
Selective.
Yes, no,
Yeah,
yeah, no, yeah. I read that. I was
exactly.
like, be selective
You
of who you
don't
want to work with. Yeah.
exactly. That's pretty much what I
Yes.
want to say.
Mm.
And pretty much everyone just wants to network and everyone wants to like support each other in some way.
Yes,
And so just
and the people that want to work with you, I guess, with you specifically, I'm assuming are really people who are passionate about it
yes.
and would just be grateful in the end. I mean, if I got to work with you, I'd be grateful. So I'm just putting it out there, but you
We
know,
will. We
yeah.
definitely will.
Wait, hold. Okay, a little side topic here. Just a super short side topic, but I have two friends that I'm building to be models,
Mhm.
photo models. They're not like runway models, but they're like of
Mhm.
height. They're like 5'5" and taller, and they look good on
Uh-huh.
camera. So
Yeah.
just putting out there, if you're interested in like working with fresh faces.
I always try to work with fresh faces. I always try to work with fresh faces and people that I know will like benefit from like from from it, you know? From like
Yeah.
just working with me and working with like a team and all that, like people who are serious about their craft and what they love to do, you
Mhm.
know? So
Yeah.
it's super important to be selective, but I'm always looking for models too. I have like a model
Mhm.
board saved of people that I want to work with. So you're always welcome to
Wow.
send people to me as well because I would love to
Yes.
look into it.
Yeah. Okay, so actually, this is perfect because this does really segue me to the final question before the closing question of the whole interview. Can you
Mhm.
talk to us about Hilado Designs?
Hilado Designs.
Yes.
Yes. So pretty much, I mean, I've had my whole fashion design brand since I graduated high school, so since 2016. And since then, I've built about maybe 5 collections, but they were mostly for portfolio purposes. I think I've sold
Yeah.
like a couple pieces here and there. But what was really hard in those last collections was that I mostly just made it just for content as well, and it was hard
Mm,
to, like, manufacture things and make things on my own time because 'cause I'm the only one who sews and designs, you know?
yeah.
No, I have no one to help me, and so that's why I get a little sad looking back at those collections because I was like, "I wish I could sell some of it, but some of it is just what can I do?" You know, because I didn't have anyone to help me make these pieces.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are just one of one. So, like, this whole rack behind me, they're all my
Mhm.
collections and things that I've made,
Oh,
and so I'm really taking my time to build my brand. It's just gonna be under my name, Isabel Hilado, but
yeah.
my at on Instagram is Hilado Designs because I already took Isabel Hilado.
Oh,
So,
that is funny.
so everything will now be under my name, and
Mhm.
I'm planning on giving a lot of I want to make things how do I say this? I want my items to be more accessible to people instead of
Mhm.
these, like, collections that I've been doing the last couple years,
Mm.
and I want it to be sustainable, so I'm now going to
Yes.
be focusing on more sustainability and upcycling and just really making sure that I utilize whatever materials are already here. So,
Mhm.
something that I'm really inspired by right now or something that I've always been inspired by actually is denim. So, denim has been my fabric of choice since the beginning
Mm.
of my design journey. I've always gravitated towards denim because I just really love how it's structured and you can really manipulate it into different types of clothing. Denim is not
Mhm.
just for jeans, it can be for t-shirts, it could be for jackets, it
It
can
can
be
be
for
for
so many
mask.
things.
Mask.
Exactly, I've made a denim mask too.
Oh, shoot.
So denim is just one of my favorite fabrics and it's also very timeless and classic and just a fabric that everyone can wear, you know? And
Yes.
so for her for my brand, I'm going to be incorporating a lot of denim into it and a lot of upcycled denim as well. And
Mhm.
so I'll be trying to create a little I'll be trying to create a lot of different products of like how do I say this? I'll be offering like one of
Mhm.
one designs, but also
Yes.
designs that I'm gonna be remaking over and over. And so
What is 101? Just
oh,
for
one of
I don't
one
know myself actually, and for
oh,
people that
no.
may not know.
One of
Yes.
one is just, like, a design that is just one
For
of
the
a kind.
person, right? Oh,
Yeah,
one of a
just for that
kind. Oh,
person.
okay.
Yeah, one of a kind. Pretty much, like, there's only one of this in the whole world,
Ooh.
you know?
Ooh.
So, yeah, I just call we just I mean, I think in the industry, they usually just call it, like, one of one designs or pretty much in the streetwear industry.
Okay,
So,
101.
I'm just gonna be able to I'm excited to finally just offer products to people because a lot of people always ask me when I'll be selling.
Are you selling, please tell me you're creating a mask line. Mask.
I could, we'll see.
I
I'm
think
working yeah.
I think if I'm being like super transparent, I think you should. I mean, well, I think you should just because it's I mean, it is what the world
Exactly.
needs right now. It's so much
Exactly.
cheaper. And I think that it wouldn't be such a bad way for you to like do like a soft launch because then
Oh,
at
yeah,
least because at least even in like in that way you're like starting to get your name out there. Like the access I
exactly,
mean that is a way for you to practice your accessibility, you know?
exactly. Right now, I'm working on my product lines and trying to see what kind of items I can offer to people. So I'm gonna have,
Mhm.
like, a wide variety of price points. Definitely, I don't wanna
If
be too expensive, but I want it
no,
to
for sure.
be
If you made a mask, I'll buy one from you for sure. So
it's definitely going to be, within the price point that I feel like I'm worth
oh
because
yes, yeah.
there are times where I mean, in the past where I've
As
definitely
as
I've
you
undercut
should though.
myself.
As you
Exactly.
should.
I've
Yeah.
undercut myself in terms of pricing and or sometimes I've believe it or not, I've made things for people and then they never paid me. And so now I know my worth after all these years. So
Mm,
with the brand, I'm going to try to be sustainable, somewhat affordable to the people who want to buy like these one of a kind designs, and
mhm.
we'll see where it goes. So hopefully sometime this year, I don't really have an exact I do have like an idea of when I would like to launch, but I'm just trying to take it slow. Just trying
Yes.
to take it slow, make sure I build everything to what I want it to be. Because in the past, I feel like my collections were kind of rushed and I wish I could have done that
Oh,
feeling where you wish you could have done more or you wish you could have
oh,
changed something for a little
I
bit.
get that. Yeah.
So that's why it's taken me like 3 years to like build something new. And I'm very excited because
Mm,
this is this is gonna be like kind of a new journey. And my goal right now is to have something like done or to have like my brand at a decent what do you call it? I just want my brand to be like formulated and
mhm.
already
Yeah, yeah.
launched and all that by the time I graduate college in like a year. So I'm very
Yeah.
excited. So we'll see where it goes. And in the middle of that, I'm still gonna be working on my own personal brand, which is like the content creation and all
Yeah.
my own personal designs and such. And so yeah, it's gonna be a busy year for sure, but I'm very excited.
Yes. You should ask, like, you should ask online, do like a poll of like what your audience is looking for.
That's so funny because my boyfriend always tells me that
Uh,
because he's the one who always like he's the one
is he
who
the
knows
is he the business person? Is he the business person?
he is the business-minded person. So
Mm,
he's the one who helps me like he's the one who hears all my stuff that I s- he hears all my complaints. He hears my
mm.
stress. He hears everything. So he knows what I'm going through. So he's always like, "You should just shoot a poll." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I second guess myself a lot. I overthink a
Oh,
lot." Which is why I also think it's taking me so long, but it's all
mm.
good. I just know this year is gonna be the year for it to all
Yeah.
come to fruition and happen. So I'm very excited.
But I mean, yes. Yes and yes and yes. And I think in greater scheme of things, you're young. You are young.
Yes.
Like,
I always
yeah,
try to
I'm
remind myself that.
you are young, you get to be young because at 22, well, God knows where I was at 22, but I'm 28. I'm 28 now,
You
and
look
I feel
good.
like, oh, thank you, appreciate it. Um, at 28, I feel like I'm just beginning to really
There's
like,
nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
yeah, to just really
and
step into our own power, and it does take time.
yes, and that's why I have to tell myself, like, "Why am I rushing?" And that's where also social media and
Oh,
comparison
yes,
comes
the
into
rat
play.
race. Uh huh.
Exactly, because you see all these people, they're doing this, this, and this, and I'm like, "Well, what am I doing?" You know? But that's why in, like, my little month and a half of a little break, I had to
Hmm.
really, like, kinda rewire the way I think so that I
Yes.
am prepared for what I'm about to do next, you know? And
Yeah.
so, I have to try to just lessen that, like, comparison to others and just really it's all you gotta put yourself first and just really focus on yourself first before
Hmm.
anything. And then eventually, like, it'll all fall into place, I believe in it.
Hmm.
God has a purpose for everybody, you know?
Things do fall into place. Things do fall
Exactly,
into place the way it needs to be. And
exactly.
actually, yeah. And the last thing that I want to say before I ask you the last question, thank you so much again for being here. And
Thank you. I'm having so
I
much fun.
me too. And it's funny because I'm like, I've already had like several moments where I'm like, this is has been an amazing interview. But like every time I interview someone,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like, it gets
glad.
better and better. Okay, so
Thank you.
you're welcome. So the last thing that I want to say about that is um I mean, you are someone, and this is just me thinking out loud from like creative logistics perspective, since you are wanting to take your time to just like kind of flesh it out, while also like I guess granted that you don't want to wait too long, where it's just like
Exactly.
I truly and I'm not like a fashion. I mean, I've wanted to be a fashion designer at some point. I can only hand sew,
I
but
love that though.
I thank you. But I truly believe that I think starting doing like a soft launch with like like whether it's I think the mask, I think it's really a good way for you to really like test out the
Mhm.
market, to be testing out the market as you're
Yeah.
building versus waiting until you have everything perfected and formulated to launch. Because then because like going back to my YouTube channel, I've just been building as I'm going, and I've been
Mhm.
perfecting the craft with each video that I make, with each podcast that I'm doing, and I'm getting the information that
Exactly.
I need from my audience. For you would be for your I guess audience, yeah, audience
Yes.
to see what's working or what's not working. But you're not gonna get there
Exactly.
until you like launch your first thing. So yeah,
Exactly. So we'll just see how it goes the next couple months because I do have like
yeah.
a 6 year. I have like a 6 month plan. I have a 1 year
Mm,
plan. So
dang.
we'll see what happens. I try
Uh,
to my passion planner.
oh
That passion planner, man.
yeah, no, I need to tackle into this. Okay.
I mean, if you don't like the dates on it, get an undated passion planner.
Do I have the dates? Oh yeah, no, I have the dated ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, wait, but with the undated ones, so you have to write every single thing.
Yeah. I'm like that though. I need to write it down. I write it
Oh,
down and I also write it in my phone.
oh no,
I'm like one
I'm
of those
not like
people.
that. It only took me 1 year to buy the undated one, and I was like, never again. I'm just gonna
Keep
just
you on, yeah,
imagine.
but I see. It helps you keep you on track if it's dated. I feel you.
Yeah, yes, yeah, it saves less time. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, my friends. So we made gosh. This whole thing has been amazing, including the internet
I
breakup.
really enjoyed this
Me too. Me
because
too.
it's so it's so rare to, like, sit down and reflect and talk about yourself
Mm.
or and just get to know yourself even more, you know? So, I just wanna thank you for even having this podcast because you put so much passion and hard work into it, and I can tell in your other interviews as well, you really are super genuine in who you are and what you wanna share to the world, so I can't wait to see how much you grow this year and just
Thank
in your
you.
career in general.
Thank you. See, I'm gonna take this clip and show it to my parents. Be like, "Huh."
Look at it.
Yeah. Look at this, okay? Testimonials? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, have a review, I will leave a review, 10 out of 10.
Yes. Thank you. But real talk though, like this podcast is not about me, it's about you guys.
Mhm.
I think it's just really a plus that I really am able to find like a really like I'm fulfilled because the whole pandemic, like you don't
Yeah,
see people much anymore. And I'm like, I
exactly.
get to utilize the connection part, but in a way where now it's like, oh shoot, like
Mhm.
the doors have been like open to like connect with anyone in the world,
Exactly,
you
which
know?
is
So I'm like,
amazing. It's amazing.
yes, I'm like, I'm just gonna run with this because I have dreams for myself,
Exactly.
which is to um in my own shape or way, I would love to become a public figure, to use this platform to
Mhm.
be able to inspire others that your life doesn't end in someone else's disappointment of you.
Exactly, and you just gotta keep pushing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just you at the end of the day, so you gotta keep going.
Yes. Okay, my love. Okay, so my last question is for this interview is, drum roll, boom.
I'm excited.
What legacy does Isabel Hilado want to leave behind in the world?
Oh, wow, that's deep. Well, the legacy that I really want to live the legacy that I wanna leave is
Yes,
that
yeah.
I wanna be able to inspire others. At the end of the day, the reason why I do what I do is because I just wanna be able to help others on their journey in whatever that is, whether it's fashion design, whether it's, like, just with clothes, whether it's positivity or happiness or
Hmm.
whatever. I wanna be able to show people that you can be yourself and you can amass the following if during your journey, and you I don't know, there's just so many things that I wanna leave behind, but I just really just wanna inspire at the end of the day, I just wanna inspire others throughout what I do
Yeah.
because I through my journey, I'm not rich, you know? I have working class immigrant parents,
Me too.
and
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
like, you don't have to have a lot of money to be able to do what you love.
Mhm.
there's always a way to let your passions and your dreams shine without all that money at the same time.
And find
And
fulfillment too.
exactly. And so I also just want to be able to show people that you you can grow from whatever walk of life you're in
Mm,
pretty much.
mhm.
And I know
Blossom like your
exactly.
plant in the back.
Exactly,
Olive.
and even though I'm only 22, I still have a
So
long
you're
time to
such a
go.
baby.
I know, even though I have such a long time to go, like, I wanna be able to just show people that you can do whatever you want. Literally, don't let people limit you. Don't let people second guess what you wanna do. You wanna
Ooh,
do it for
yes.
you wanna do it for yourself. You wanna do it because you love it. You don't wanna and also, like, not everything is about the money too. You wanna be
Yes.
able to have that passion behind it even when there's no money,
Mm,
because
yes.
the fashion industry is hard, or honestly, any industry is hard, and so you wanna be able to find that passion without the money as well, because money is just it's the
Money.
devil sometimes, you know, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it can really skew your perception of your
Mm,
goals and your
mm,
dreams, and
mhm.
so always have passion in whatever you do, pretty much, and I just hope to inspire people with how genuine and how real I'm being with everything that I'm doing, and yeah, I think that's the best way I could answer that.
Yay.
I just wanna keep going with what I love, and hopefully I build people and hopefully I can help people on their journeys as well.
Well, plot twist, you already are. You have, which is why
I
we're
hope.
in this because yeah, I mean, like what I mentioned earlier. If you don't know, just like go back to the beginning of the episode for those that are tuning in. But yeah, I mean, so the real reason, the reason why I reached out to you, is because I was like, I really see this fire, this drive, this tunnel vision that is so that is so undeniable, and I was like, I want to be able to
Thank
ask
you.
her, just be able to talk to her, and also to I've been very select I myself too have been very selective with the people that I've guested so far. And
Of course.
it's funny because I'm in the YouTube space, right? Meaning I already have like a built set of people I could interview right away. But I'm actually
Yeah.
going outside of that circle because I want to be able to build my confidence in the end to interview them because they know me so well. But also to build the confidence to meet other people. Like I think you're the third person now that I've interviewed that I haven't met yet. You know?
Really. I feel
Yes.
like
The
I know
first.
you now,
Yes. No. No. Same. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Okay.
you're just doing a great job, though. I feel like it comes naturally to you, what you
Thank
do.
you. Thank you.
Keep
The
going.
jibber jabber. Yes. Thank you. I'll mental note. Okay, my love.
Mental.
Work. Yes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay, my love. Where can people find you? Where can people see your works, and what can we expect from you this
What
year, moving forward? Go.
Alright, well, you can find me at Isabel Hilado on everything, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, whatever your form of social media is, I have it. I also have a LinkedIn, you can add me on there as well if you're more business-minded. I also have my website, you can see all my work and all my features, everything that I've done, so I'll also include, like, your podcast on there as well, and I'll put a link there. But, yeah, you can see all my features and all that on my website, isabelhilado.com. And then in the future, this year, you're gonna expect more designs from me, more content, more unique content, and just another fun year of fashion design and content creation, pretty much. Just doing me.
Yes, we made it, y'all. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Woo.
This is thus far the longest interview that I've done.
Oh
It's
my gosh,
so
but it
it's
felt like it went by pretty fast, though. I feel like we
it
could talk
no
a
it
lot
did.
about
I know
yeah.
it. No, it does. It felt like an hour. It's like we are at 2 hours and 23 minutes.
I know my laptop's at 15% too. I was like, "I hope it doesn't die."
Oh no. Yeah. Isabel, my love, thank you so much again
Thank
for being
you.
here. Oh my mic. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm
Thank you for
I'm
having me.
yes. I'm just super glad that we finally made this happen because when I reached out to her, she was busy. She was who am I lying to? She is a busy person with
Sometimes.
better things to do, and I'm super
Oh
super
my gosh,
thankful
no.
that she made time to stop by in this podcast for her to share her story and her advices and her tips and wisdom on just becoming your best version of yourself through the lens of fashion design. And on that note, thank you so much for watching Soul Supremacy, where we talk about all things unapologetic, all things passionate and in pursuit of. And for next week, we're gonna have Dante Palmer, who is a single dad who inspired putting oh my goodness, that's fine. I'll just chop this. So basically we're gonna have Dante Palmer on the show next week where he's gonna talk about his movement and his cause advocacy for putting men's for putting a diaper installing diapers in the men like changing room. What do they call it?
Putting
the,
putting diaper changing in the men's
yes,
room.
yes,
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
He's gone viral. I met him on
Oh, I
Clubhouse.
think I saw that.
Yes.
I think
He's squatting
I've
down.
seen about his
He's
story.
African American. He's squatting down, holding his kid.
Yes, I've seen that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Clubhouse, man.
I'll send it to you after. So I reached out to him because he was looking for opportunities to share his story. And I was like, I'm available. And I was
I'm
like, and
excited for you. I can't wait to hear that one.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this one is good. Next one is gonna be good, y'all. The last thing that I want to say, I'm going off tangent now, but the guests actually moving forward here so far, I have after Isabel, I have Dante Palmer, I have Jess Dizon, who is a emerging production designer from the Philippines, who happened to work in one of my favorite BL boys love drama last summer called Quarantines, the series. Um, who else? Jessica Whitaker, photographer, influencer that I've like followed for a long time. And lastly, Oliver Twix. He's been interviewing so many America's Next Top Model contestants and has been spilling the tea. I asked him to be on my show. He said yes. So
Wow.
I'm shook.
Yes, you got a lineup. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. No, just got better from here. But my love, thank you so much
Okay.
again. Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me. I've had a blast just
I
being here.
know. This podcast show is a product of Studio Penguino. For more information about advertising, please visit www.adrianpenguino.com.